To illustrate the new interconnect capability, I've got a couple of transistors here on the layout and a capacitor, and I'll connect these up together. The interconnect is accessed via this icon on the toolbar or through a menu pick. First, you select the layer that you want to route the interconnect on. We'll start with M1 because we'll be routing from the drain of the first FET. Then you set the line width. We'll keep it at 30 microns. You can choose different end types, rounds or square ends. We'll use truncate, which is most typical for IC design applications. You have the choice of different corner types as well. So let's start. I'll choose the M2 layer, which is the drain metal layer for the first transistor, and that'll connect to the top plate of the capacitor here, which is also on metal 2. One of the nice things is if you miss the endpoint, you can easily reconnect it by connecting the two ends. And then next we'll route from the bottom plate of the capacitor, which starts at the metal 0 layer, over to the gate of the other FET. And along the way, we've got a transition from metal 0 to metal 1. And the way you do that is by using the period key, and the via is automatically inserted. And once again, if you get to the end here, you can just click and close the connection. Well, let's go back here. You'll notice that the interconnect is a little bit wider than the gate width here. You can easily adjust that by double-clicking on the interconnect and typing in the appropriate width, which is 25 microns here. Now, one of the aspects of the Smart Interconnect is it'll do things like automatically adjust the via size based on changes in the interconnect dimensions, like we just did for that metal 1 trace. So let's do a little bit of editing and try to compact this design some. This is where the Smart Interconnect really has a lot of power. You can see here when we move things around, we maintain orthogonality on the traces, and you can easily align a trace to another vertex by choosing the center of the trace and the vertex that you want to align it with. You can slide or move the via from one place along the interconnect to another. And if you're moving traces and components around on the layout and things get a little bit out of whack, you don't have to tear up all of the interconnect and throw it away and start over. You can easily adjust and realign traces as you need. Now, one of the things I really like about this new Smart Interconnect is it will remove unnecessary traces and vias if they're no longer needed. So let me start here. I'll start on the metal 1 layer, put in a little bit of a trace, transition to metal 2 layer, put in a via, transition back up or back down to metal 1, put another via, transition back up to metal 2. And so we've got several traces, several vias transitioning up and down. So as I showed before, you can grab the center of one of these traces and easily move it to another place on the layout, and the other traces and vias will adjust automatically. But if you move a trace like this one here on the end and sync it up with the other trace endpoint, it'll automatically remove the vias and the metal on layer 2.